So have you guys adopted any kids?
What do you mean?
Have you adopted like kids that are?
Is that question like related?
No, I'm literally.
I probably adopted about the same amount that you have.
Well, I'm not old enough to have kids, so
okay.
that's crazy.
But
and I don't even.
But you can have an opinion. But you can have an opinion on it without having adopted.
I was just curious.
We haven't adopted yet because I just had a 6-month-old, but that's in the plans.
Awesome.
Because, you know, here's a question about adoption though. I'll trade you one.
Okay.
Who do you think adopts more? People who are for abortion or people who are against it?
Actually, the most of the people that I know that are like really, really, really against it have no adopted kids.
Well, no, I'm saying just in general. Like, so there's a lot of people who are fostering and adopting kids.
Yeah.
Like waiting. There's like millions of people like waiting to adopt kids.
Huh? Yeah, no. That's literally, if you guys are doing that, that's great.
But
super, you can have an opinion. I'm just curious.
But
this is the most interaction I've gotten all day.
Yeah. But why do you go to that question?
Because I've
quickly?
had the argument with other people who are actually like extremely aggressive over it. Because like I believe that it's her choice.
What's her choice?
Yeah, and that's
What?
well, just anything in life. I don't feel like
Anything?
I don't feel like someone should be able to infringe on what someone chooses.
What
if it doesn't affect them? So like if you're gonna go stab someone, that affects someone. But like if
because there's another person involved?
Yeah, but like if you're gonna go get a tattoo, like no one should be able to control that.
I'm 100% with you on this.
And when
I just don't know if you're because like if you were to like play back what you said, you said anyone can do anything that's up to them,
Yeah.
and you're for that.
And
that's not true. Like we curtail all sorts of people who do all sorts of things. The only time we stop people is whenever there's another person involved.
Yeah, and that's what their choice is.
And it doesn't matter what kind of person it is, like black, white, born, unborn.
Well, my thing is
because that's where the rub is. People hurt unborn humans.
Yeah, but I get that, and that makes sense, and I totally get that side of it. But I'm also like, we curtail people who infringe on other people's rights, and I agree that if you don't want to get an abortion, don't get one. But if you push...
But what if you do that with any other evil that you agree? Like, I mean, someone's like, well...
If you want to kill someone, kill someone. You're going to have to deal with those consequences.
But
no, if you want to do it, you do that.
But the thing is, because you're like getting it that there's another person. There's another person there. So like, what do we do when our culture has a class of human beings that are disenfranchised from any kind of right to life?
Well,
what do we do? How do we protect them?
Said fetus can live on its own from the mother.
When's that? It's like 3.
Whenever the heartbeat happens, whenever we can medically take care of them.
Oh, wait, so I'm just trying to follow you. Like,
as soon as an actual heartbeat
the human fetus is living inside their mother's womb from the moment of conception, prior to fetal, they're living as embryos, and then they become fetuses.
I think that whenever they're able to be like
on their own alive,
well, like medically, like induced living. So say like someone has a miscarriage, but someone
you have a baby come out of you at 12 because you take like a pill that makes them come out of your.
Well, like rejects a pregnancy, but the child is born alive, like preemies.
Yeah.
If we can medically take care of them, then yeah, totally.
So your view is human beings have rights not because they're humans, but because they can live on their own.
If they can be supplementally alive, then yeah, they're totally a human.
So what about like 1-month-olds or 6-month-olds or heck, 1-year-olds?
If they can be medically kept alive and they're going to actually be able to have a life.
Well, who's keeping them medically alive?
Hospitals, doctors.
So other people.
Parents, yeah.
So the thing about the human fetus is the mother is keeping them alive by
and they're alive at that point. But the person who has the child can make the decision
to end their life,
not kill. People
See,
make decisions.
But that's why we oppose it, because we're in that rare category of people that think "thou shalt not kill" is a good idea.
Well, yeah, but do you agree with the death penalty?
Yes.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
So you're okay.
So you don't.
But you're okay with killing people?
No.
Oh, no, I think it's hilarious.
No, I'm not a pro-lifer. So just for
you
for the
guys
record.
were the abolitionists.
Right. So abolitionist. If you're like a serial murderer or like a rapist, and you're guilty, clearly guilty.
Okay. I want to
Right.
actually.
So I would advocate. So like the way you advocate killing unborn children, if you don't want them, I advocate killing murderers who have been found guilty. So the kind of protection that you would want to put on a murderer, I want to put that kind of protection on a preborn innocent human child.
Well, I actually agree with the death penalty.
Okay.
But-
Okay, so cool.
But
Because it's a justice thing. It's not a.
what my view on the death penalty is they should have the same thing what happened to them. What they did to someone, have the same thing happen to them.
Like
An
eye for an eye.
Yes.
Lex talionis.
Yeah. And
So-
it's not. That's actually a.
So like a mother, I mean, it sounds harsh, but it'd save a lot of lives. So you're saying like a mother who pays someone to have her child's arms and legs ripped off should have her arms and legs ripped off?
If that's what we decide as a society.
Well, I mean,
Go
it's
for it,
just
girl.
kind of like where you ended up.
So, whenever you mention like rapists and stuff, okay, so
Yes, I'm a big anti-rape. I think we don't punish rapists anywhere near like
I
we
agree
should.
with that, but also, I'm 14. Say that somebody raped me and I had a kid. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I am going to ruin my life if I have this kid. I will not be able to, I
Yeah.
will have trouble going to school, going to college, so I will have something to take
Yeah.
care of. Like it's like having an own person
Yeah.
whenever you can't even take
I hear
care of
you.
yourself. So, if that happens, and without abortions, I would have to live with my rapist kid
Mm-hmm.
forever until I die. And by saying,
Not necessarily, but
saying
for at least 9
this-
months
Well,
maybe.
putting the child up for
But
adoption.
you said a lot about punishing the child, but nothing about the rapist.
Hold on. So
Yeah,
putting
well,
the
the rapist
child, making the child.
Well, the rapist gets
go-
off if you abort the baby.
Hold on.
Just go, you know.
Forcing a child to be born, which fine, whatever.
Well,
Are you-
it's
hold
not
on.
forcing them to
They
be born.
didn't
It's
get
just
to
not
choose.
killing them.
They didn't get to choose.
Right.
But
People
hold on,
like
can
to
I
be
finish
alive.
My point? Actually, I don't. So that's crazy.
What you what?
I don't like being alive. I hate this world. But
You
but
like it
my-
enough to stay here, and I think you're valuable. And
It wouldn't have been
You're
the
good.
first time. But what? Continue.
no, I mean,
If-
I'm just thinking,
if the
don't hurt
child-
yourself
if
ever.
the child is born and it is put into an adoption agency, you're putting that child towards, like the rate.
I know.
The rate that foster children get like assaulted. So if
Oh,
you're
way too much.
Oh, it's way
Even
too
if it's
much.
once.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you are pro,
But are you saying-
if you are pro non-abortion, then do you support putting more effort
Yeah.
and more money
Killing
into
kids
No, but
before foster care.
I was asking if you.
I mean, it's
hold on.
I'm trying to follow your argument. You're saying
you're
saying
keep
kill.
interrupting me.
Well, what's the
If you-
argument?
If you no, there's no argument. I'm just curious. Do you agree with putting more money towards adoption agencies
Yeah.
and foster care?
I
And
think
allowing
adoption,
those,
yes. I am
allowing those children to be put in an equal place if they would
Yeah.
be with two parents, middle class. Do you agree with doing
Yeah,
that?
I'm for adoption reform. It should. It's like 10 times more expensive to adopt a child than it is to terminate one.
Well,
So I think that should be changed.
yeah, I think
would
that
love
should
it.
be changed too.
I think churches should be like stepping up and adopting way more children. I think there's lots of evils, but the particular evil, I don't think like, hey, let's just kill all kids that we predict are going to have bad foster care lives. I think that's like
Well,
That's a really
if you
wicked
agree with
view.
no abortion, that's fine. Totally agree with it, whatever. But you've also got to agree with the fact of putting more resources towards children and adopting them.
Yeah.
So that's why I walked
Right.
up and asked because
Yeah.
you said you were going to, and I was like, hell yeah, great job.
yeah.
Like good for you.
On the side, in agreement, you know that one of the reasons our society doesn't put a lot of time and energy into helping unwanted children,
Yeah.
because they think those unwanted children should have been aborted. So abortion's there, and it's kind of like, hey, poor black people, why didn't you just abort your babies?
Fair.
And so the things are like evils tend to like feed other evils.
Yeah.
So it's like someone is like, a lot of the conceptions that happen from rape are actually not from violent assault rapes, they're from date rapes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like date rapists who sit and think, oh, I live in a culture that says, you know who we don't love? Children conceived in rape. Screw them little babies. I can do what I want. Even if she gets pregnant, I'm not paying child support. I'm not becoming a
In
dad.
that point-
She'll abort it.
And that
and the
point,
world
do
will
you
tell her to.
agree with mandatory vasectomies?
For a rapist?
in general, people who are unable financially to be able to take care of a child.
No, I believe in reproductive justice, which
What do you mean by that?
that people should be able to choose reproductive
So they can make the decision on whether-
reproducing. If they've reproduced, they can't kill their children. But
That's the problem, because men can keep doing that. But if I have one slip
oh no,
up,
if there's a deadbeat dad who's like raping women and abandoning children, let's castrate that guy. Whatever, he's a rapist. We probably should kill him, right?
What were you
Right.
gonna say?
I'm for very strong punishments of rapists.
Okay.
It would solve a lot of these arguments.
But what happens with the accidents?
What
my
accidents?
goodness, the condom broke.
Oh yeah, I don't think we punish people for that.
I don't think we should punish people.
Punish children, I don't
But
think.
if you are
Our culture
going-
says punish the child, not the parents.
Well, yeah, but if you want to end abortion, you might want to think about like
Allowing it?
not allowing
Okay.
it, but having birth control. Do you agree with birth control?
If it's not abortifacient.
So
If the birth
I'm
control is abortifacient, it's bad.
So I'm taking a birth
Just being
control
honest
pill
with
right now. Do you agree with it's literally just birth control so I can't get pregnant?
So you don't ovulate.
Do you agree with that? Yes.
So what I disagree. So there's like I'll just give you the full answer. So the problem with a lot of birth controls, I don't know your birth control, but I'm assuming it's in this big class. The problem is if you do not take it perfectly, and you do ovulate and do conceive a child, oftentimes the person who gets pregnant on birth control will think, this was a mistake, I'm allowed to abort it, and give her increased. So I hate that about it. The other thing is when you're telling your body you're pregnant, which is how birth control works, when you're telling your body you're pregnant, it says, hey, you're pregnant, implantation is not a thing. Because if you're pregnant, a newly conceived human embryo can implant. So birth control ends up being abortifacient if a child is conceived.
So do you agree with male birth control?
Like probably not.
Vasectomy or hormonal or a non-hormonal? Anything?
Yeah, no.
No,
I'm not like the word agree or disagree. If it's killing a human, I definitely am opposed to it.
Okay.
If it's like contraception in the sense of it's preventing the sperm from
leave it.
I can't say morally that's something to criminalize because it's not killing anyone.
It's not killing anyone. But do you agree with it? If abortions are banned, do you agree with having male birth control readily pushed and available for everyone?
Yeah, it's pretty pushed.
So that abortions don't. No, male birth control is not.
No, male contraception is very pushed. Actually, I'm surprised someone hasn't walked up and given me one.
Butterfly on his shoulder.
Like,
there is a butterfly.
Yeah, that's
I
his
have
friend.
never seen male contraception. Like
You never seen a
pills.
condom?
I've seen condoms.
Oh, that's so.
But like we have to.
Contraception is keeping conception from happening.
Well, but
So that's
condoms, right.
against conception. So condoms are male contraceptions.
Yeah.
They have
condoms
vaginal
are less-
condom type things, but
So condoms are less than 80%
Various.
effective. Hormonal birth control for women, either IUD, bar, disc, pill, insert, all of that. So you agree with that?
No,
but
I'm
you
saying-
don't-
I'm
you
saying-
don't agree with forcing men to take birth control so that sperm is
forcing. So
You're
this is
forcing people not
this
to be
is
able
where
to
all
have
of a
an
sudden
abortion.
this is where all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, this guy sounds like a progressive. I don't agree with
I'm a
forcing.
progressive.
No, I don't agree with you're asking me to force.
But you're here forcing someone not to be able.
No. I'm not for forcing people to not be able to reproduce.
Okay.
If that's what you're advocating.
No.
So I'm for
advocating-
reproductive justice, but not so. Reproductive injustice would be like castrating people against their will.
Yeah.
So like Buck v. Bell, like look it up, right? Like
I know what you're talking about.
Like saying people, hey, this person is, unfit. Let's castrate them, or let's chemically.
No, like eugenics type stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not for taking away people's reproductive rights.
Yeah.
Now, if people have reproduced and they want to kill their kids.
But at the point that they're
That's
a clump
whenever
of cells, they can't be
We're all-
medically taken care of. We're all a clump of cells.
We're all a clump of cells, and we also all go through a very long period of needing to be taken care of that actually extends quite.
No,
might
I
actually
totally
be
get
to
it.
like
I've been on
13.
life support twice.
What's that?
I've been on life support twice, so I'm
Right.
always
Yeah.
down.
So So the idea that human rights are connected to
I'm
whether you
saying
need
the
medical
fact that
care.
You're not allowing women to choose to get an abortion or not. Which,
No, I'm not
which is your choice, and that's whatever you want to do. But if you are going to not allow that, are you going to push and like really help develop or hormonal or like a 90% or more effective male birth control?
Yeah.
So you're down with that?
So the answer is yes, if you're talking about something that isn't killing people or taking away their reproductive rights.
Yeah, they can choose to take the birth control or not.
So
But I can choose to get an abortion.
But if you're advocating abortion is advocating one human ending the physical existence of another human.
That depends on me for life.
Yes, it's your child. So advocating mothers murdering their children, if murder is defined as terminating them. So
Terminating them before a heartbeat?
Just any human beings. Human beings exist about what?
So
at least 4 weeks before any kind of pumping.
Only women can produce children.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have the abortion put on us, abortion ban put on us, should men have to pay mandatory child support if they can be proven genetically for the father, and it be mandatory for men to take a genetic test?
Are you saying that is? I think that's true.
So you think you're fine with making that mandatory?
Yeah, men paying child support.
But making like. Okay,
men need to be responsible for their children, but that's like something that is a real thing.
Yeah, but it's not always mandated.
Right.
Because like if I was born and my mom didn't know which one my dad was, like if she was promiscuous and all of this stuff, whatever. But she can't force a guy to take a genetic test and then pay birth control.
Yeah. So there's a certain sense where there's like where I want to agree with you is that I think that fathers shouldn't abandon their children.
Okay, I agree with that.
But I don't think because fathers say like our culture said, you know what, we're going to let fathers abandon their children to the degree that they let women abandon their children.
They do that now.
Well, just real quick question, just focus me like on this.
I'm listening.
Who does our culture allow to abandon their children to death more? Fathers or mothers?
Oh, our dads only what to do. Men. Because I know so many.
Men aren't allowed to murder their children.
I know so many single women who leave those.
I know, but men can be deadbeat fathers, and I already agree that's bad. But if you can also agree that women shouldn't be allowed to terminate their children, then all of a sudden you're being equal. But in our culture, mothers are allowed to murder their children for the first 9 months of their children's lives.
Well, men leave their children and end up, most of the people in my life that have either committed suicide, done anything, have had a father leave.
I agree. Fatherlessness is bad, and we fight it, but our fathers, as bad as is it legal anywhere in the United States of America for a father to look at a child and say, you know what, I don't like paying for you, and then kill them?
There's 50 miles in Nevada on the edge of Yellowstone that it's illegal to murder. Look it up.
Okay. Aside from Yellowstone,
I've got to take her
I've seen the show, but like
no, not Yellowstone. There's literally a 50-mile radius in Nevada. You should look it up. It's called like the Land of Dead. Yeah. Because it's legal to do any crime there. Because there's no one living there.
Gotcha. But what I'm saying, fathers aren't allowed to murder their children.
Yeah, they are. All the time.
They get in trouble. It does affect me because I love human beings. Oh, Sam. If you could have just got their faces too.